Welcome back, you car mother lovers, to another episode of the Curb Appeal TV podcast. I am your host, Phil. Joined by me is host, Jackson.
What's up, guys? And
So,
we got us here with us, Mr. George Grob. He's quite the unique individual. He's been in the car business and around cars, well, just about, all your life, it sounds like. But tell the audience a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So born and raised here in Atlanta, been involved in pretty much everything you could imagine between drifting, street racing, all the above, exotics, and interesting story. Dropped out of high school, joined a Porsche Rolex Cup race team when I was 16, and just been into cars ever since then. I've worked on some crazy stuff. I mean, one of my first jobs was working on a $500,000 car, washing it, and
Wow.
just going from there and trying to just get my way into the space of where I really wanted to be. And I realized that college is not for me.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
how did you get that first gig?
I had a friend of mine that was, I would say, he was kind of like a chief engineer for a team. And I was talking to him about it with the Petit Le Mans when I was younger. I was probably 13 or 14. And we were talking, and he says, yeah, I'm thinking about going to this university. They have an automotive program. He says, bro, if you want to do performance, just the best thing to do is just get involved, get experience immediately. Having the college is you're wasting 2 years of your life. Diploma doesn't matter. Just get in there, get your hands dirty, get the connections. That's what I did. So he gave me the advice. I jumped in, and I started off obviously washing cars because I was young. I didn't really know what to do. So
And then did you have any idea, like in terms of marketing or anything? Is it all word of mouth? Like how did you go from one client to another to build your network?
I didn't know what I was doing back then, to be honest. Man, we're talking about a long time ago. We're talking about like 2006. I would say the best thing was making an impressionable mark on somebody.
Yeah.
If I meet somebody, the number one advice that I got was making sure that that person will remember you again, whether it's your looks, your name, or some comment that you made.
Yeah, the experience you
You
get.
have a very short amount of time to impress somebody, and if you don't impress somebody and make a mark within the first 15 minutes of talking to somebody in a real conversation, then you haven't done your job correctly. And I just kind of always worked off of that, is making a lasting impression on somebody when I talk to somebody and I meet somebody. Because I see it all the time where people come up and like, hey man, you remember me? We met 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm like,
Yeah, you might remember
no,
the
like, how do you
face.
remember me 2 or 3 years ago? We met for 5 minutes, So I've just naturally always been like that, and I just kind of evolved from that and made it to the point of where I make sure that when I meet somebody that you're going to remember me, 100%. Whether it's good or bad, you're going to remember me. It doesn't matter,
So at what point, when you're embarking in this journey, that you realize, okay, I can make something out of this?
It honestly took me a little while because I was just I didn't really want to go into ownership space for a long time. I just wanted to just be around the cars. It was exciting. I've always loved race cars my whole life, and just the performance aspect of it. And I grew up going to Petit Le Mans because my dad used to work for CompuWare, and they had the yellow Corvettes. They were very well known for running the yellow Corvettes for a long time. And I grew up going to Road Atlanta and hearing them from my house, and that was very important to me. And then I just kind of wanted to just be a mechanic, just be around it. And then slowly evolving into the space where I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be a worker. I want to be the boss. So how can I make more money and work less? That was the goal. The goal was to make more money and work less. And you look at the spectrum of mechanics, and they're 20, 30% paid of the total job. Well, I wanted to flip the spectrum, and I wanted to be the 70% or the 80%er. I don't want to be working on cars and be paid this tiny little scrap.
Yeah.
So I set my sights out for ownership probably about 2010. And the thing with that was just figuring out how to come up with the money and get enough client base to do that. And it took me quite a while. I opened up my first location was, this is stupid. My first location we opened in 2013.
So 2010, you decided it took you 3 years to get to that point. And is that you just hustling, saving your money, or did you have other people involved?
No, that was me just really building the knowledge and earning the criteria of what it takes to be a business owner. I started off as a mechanic, and then I worked for a shop in Suwanee at the time. And
High-end shop?
I would say pretty high end. It was in the import market, so we were doing Supras, Lexus. The shop specialized in 2JZ, so we did a lot of Supras. But we had really high end clientele. We were building Evos. We're doing $20,000-$30,000 builds. We're not doing coilovers because my dad bought them for Christmas. Like, we're doing builds for
Custom.
adults.
Yeah,
exactly.
Big job.
And honestly, the 3 years sounds like a lot of time, but it really wasn't a lot. I still wasn't prepared. I've failed many times. I mean, you look at anybody who has a successful business, they're going to fail multiple times, back to back to back to back, because you got to think, all of my training has been turning wrenches and building race cars. I don't know how to run a business. And still today, I'm blown away that I've accomplished what I've accomplished over the years.
Took you 15 years to
like
be
I
an
said,
overnight success.
I've screwed up a lot of stuff. You know? I mean, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to relate being a mechanic and transitioning into sales, mechanic, marketing, owner, accountant. Like, just, I was telling him I wear multiple hats. Even at my shop now, I wear multiple hats, and it's very hard because I'm gonna fail in certain areas, and there are areas where I'm lacking, where customers are like, hey man, like get that quote back to me. I'm like, hey, I have like 6 other cars that I'm doing, and then it's just, so yeah, that 3 years, realistically, I probably prematurely started a little too early. I think 4 or 5 years of being a mechanic, and then 2 or 3 years of maybe being a manager or a shop service foreman, running a shop instead of just working in a shop. I saw what my manager did in the shop, but I didn't know what he did behind the scenes. And when you start the business, you realize, wow, there's a lot of paperwork.
Skill set.
A lot of paperwork. Yeah, absolutely. So I have huge respect for people that run massive shops, especially guys that are on YouTube that run huge shops around the country. It's just, they're turning hundreds of gears every day. And it's just,
it's nonstop.
yeah,
man.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, I started a little prematurely, and I failed many times. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes, but success-wise, I've done well. I mean, I made a name for myself to the point of where I had movie industry people reaching out. I've had celebrities reach out to do stuff. I've done collaborations with a lot of people that a lot of people don't even know.
Yeah.
And I still today can't talk about some of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I've done stuff with people that just can never be spoken about, which really.
But I think you touched on a key thing, because we got to realize, like, you spent the past 15 years, from what I understand, doing all of this to lead you up to the point you are now. And I think a key item there that a lot of people could take away from is that the fact that you didn't quit. So you took as much time as you needed to build a skill set. You didn't jump from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity. You focused on vertically integrating on what it is that you're doing, learning different aspects of the business, which prepared you perfectly for being a business owner.
Yes. I wouldn't say perfectly, but did prepare me to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Not perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, because I've always felt from a young age that I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Everybody in my family is. My brother, my dad, cousins, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people that I speak to that are in your position, they always have that. They don't know what it is. It's just like this gut feeling, like it's coming.
It's just, I don't know if it's rebellion or what, but it's just like, you know, do I really want to work for somebody and have somebody tell me what to do?
That's right, yeah.
And I'm telling you, there is nothing better than being able to work for yourself and do what you want to do every day. If you want to wake up and do nothing, guess what, man? Go right ahead and do nothing today. And there's just something freeing about that really enticed me to push towards being an entrepreneur. And even today, like, I own like 4 businesses now, and I do stock trading. I mean, I own a fabrication manufacturing business. You know, I own a performance shop. We do import performance. I do exotics. I do so many different things, and I have 2 more launches next year. We're launching a performance parts website where you can go on there and get only exotic performance parts, where you can do
That are all custom made by you.
Yeah, for the majority of it. Some of them I'll do some off the shelf stuff. You know, people want like coilovers and stuff like that. You know,
But like sourcing more boutique items.
I really want to have just that boutique red carpet style, and that's really what I've pushed for, is given that red carpet style treatment, where that customer knows he's dealing with the owner, and that person knows that what he's getting could be one of one, which is a huge thing I've learned. When people, I mean, you know, when people buy spec cars, they want, like, oh, it's one of this or one of one.
They want something nobody else has.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's where the money comes in.
They buy the flex.
That's where the money comes in. And you can't put a price on that.
No, yeah.
Because there's not a market value for a unique item.
No.
It's whether they're willing to pay for it and how special really is it.
And
you know?
I feel like probably your customers too, they have like an itch they can't scratch, because no matter how much power they get, no matter what it is done to it, then once it's done, they enjoy it for maybe probably 3 months, and they're like, all right, I need something else. Like I gotta get something more. Do you feel like that's accurate? Or?
I'll tell you right now, I talk about this all the time with my exotic customers on the exotic side of the shop. There's a profile that I think one day I want to write for, like, it's hard to explain. I think that I can write a mental profile for each exotic customer.
Yeah, like the type of person.
I know a McLaren person.
Yeah.
I know a Ferrari person. I know a Lamborghini person.
The Porsche guys, yeah.
Exactly, and they're all very special and unique in their own way. And what's interesting about it is I've really learned and data logged in my brain what that person is and what they want.
Like how to cater to them, yeah.
And I don't use it to manipulate the situation, but I do manipulate.
Cater it to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't like the word manipulation, but I definitely feel like
it's an understanding of
I've learned how to adapt to each person, and I have to mimic their body language.
So that's a sales skill, bro.
It's the same way.
Matching and mirroring with people.
You have to be a chameleon. You have to be able to match each person's style. I have to go from this rich guy who's a redneck that might not have a lot of education, but he's a multimillionaire,
like
to a guy that writes software, to a guy that has a lot of family money, to another guy that is rich off of doing medical stuff, and another guy who's a real estate guy, and it's just they're all over the place. And that's why I think that exotic clients at my exotic side of the shop is the most fun, because there's such a huge book when you open them up.
Yeah,
it's so eclectic.
They're always like, man, I want to do something in my car, and I'm like, all right, you should do this, because I know this guy has this car, he wants to do this.
Yeah,
they just don't know it.
That's dope.
And they're like, you know what, you're right. Let's do that.
What do you think's been like your biggest job on like one car or one client? Like
I would say it wasn't at my shop. It was a shop I used to work at, Ford's Performance in Marietta, and they closed down. They're not around anymore. But I started out there just in the shipping department building GTRs, and I really got to know the cars well. When he found out I was a technician, I started working on this car, and the guy's name, I'll never forget the guy's name. His name was Kai. He was from China. This was the largest invoiced car I've ever worked on. It's about a $530,000 invoice.
Jesus Christ!
What an R35 GTR.
What did he do? Like strip it down and build it bolt by bolt back up, bro?
Yes.
Gosh,
I've never seen a $500,000 invoice
made out of gold.
Bro, everything.
Did,
oh god!
I mean, I'm telling you,
everything was touched. Yeah.
I mean, Italian leather interior. I mean, carbon fiber, one-off, custom-made dash, full custom air suspension, custom billet arms. Because this was when GTRs. This was probably
at
around 2010.
Oh, yeah,
so GTRs only been
all
up for
the
2
hype,
years.
yeah.
So there wasn't a lot made for them at the time. So you got to understand, this guy's wanting all this stuff that we're just like
nobody's got. Yeah.
Well, bro, we barely know how to put turbos on these things right now. We're wanting a full build. We did carbon panels. The quarter panels were pulled off. Like there was so many one-off custom-made parts, and you got to think when you get into that scale of a car, it adds up quick. So realistically, $500,000 didn't look like much. When the car was done, it was beautiful, but it didn't look much different than it did from the factory, other than a few bolt-ons. It was just a lot of custom one. You know, whenever you do stuff like that, billet parts can get expensive really, really quick.
What was his reaction when he saw it?
I wasn't there when he picked up the car because it was shipped back to China. I did meet him 2 or 3 times when he came to see updates. He would come because it was about a 3-year project, and it was a huge project. And what's interesting about it is that's the first motor I ever pulled, because they had to pull it back out multiple times because they were doing custom fittings and this and that. And I started doing oil changes and stuff after I got out of the shipping department. And then he's like, all right, today, hope you're ready to go because you're pulling a motor on a GTR. We're going to teach you how to do it. I said, woo, that's a big job, so let's do it. And it just went up from there. But yeah, every time he came, he was just so, I don't know if it's just that culture, but he was so
dry.
He just was, I don't know how to explain it. He was just so over the moon about everything. He was so, thank you guys so much. I mean,
grateful.
The dude's a billionaire, potentially a trillionaire. He's co-owner of one of the largest banks in China.
Wow. Yeah, so he's just balling out of control. Yeah,
more money than he knows what to do with. Like, more zeros than most average people have ever seen.
You guys quoted him 530. He was like, okay, no problem.
I know it started at
Did-
200.
did-
It went up from there.
Did he pay just everything up front? Like, here you go. All right,
No,
go for it.
I don't know the financial side of it because I wasn't in the front house.
That's fair. Yeah.
I did most of the mechanical stuff. I did watch the invoice grow
Yeah.
as we went.
Stacking.
But the thing with him is he was just so grateful. I remember how nice he was. He come in, he shook everybody's hand. I really appreciate everything you're doing for me. I know I'm a pain, and I just want I want something really special, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he would just always come in and just so grateful, more than most, to be honest. Most of them would just come in and be like, hey, thanks for the hard work. That's about it. Or someone would come and not even thank us.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like,
They're thinking the manager up front. I'm like, listen, this guy didn't do anything, okay? He might have typed up your invoice and ran your card, but I did all the work.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you-
let's be honest here.
do you have any like horror story customers, like where like it really just blew up, and it, maybe it wasn't your fault, but it's just like, you couldn't satisfy them no matter what you did.
Yes and no. I don't want to go into some of them because some of them are not stuff I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
of course. Yeah.
I in particular, I had this one guy, and he had, God, what did he have? It was probably the second or third year I had my own shop. He had, I think it was an Evo. It was an Evo 8 or Evo 9, I can't remember. And had another shop build the motor. Just ran into a lot of issues. Came to me with a blown motor, and we built the motor on it. And it's just every single thing that they did failed as we were putting it together. And I'm just running into all these issues and all these issues and all these issues. And he's getting frustrated with me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, I didn't originally do the build on the car. I'm just putting back what they were originally, what they did, how they designed it, whatnot. And I just saw issues with it. And it just kind of came off like he was just mad at me.
Yeah.
And he's a YouTube guy, and I don't want to say his name, but it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It was really sour. It ruined our relationship. And that's the problem with you have either celebrities or YouTube guys or guys that are in the social media space who are influencers that know nothing about building a car.
Yeah.
They don't understand the process. They don't know anything about this. And they're asking all these questions and they're frustrated, but then they're frustrated with you. I'm like, listen, I'm here to problem solve for you. I'm here to fix your issues. Like, don't bring your frustration on me if somebody else built the car. If I didn't build the car, hey, man, you can't take your anger out on me. It just it doesn't work like that. And that was the worst situation because it should have been about a 2-month, 3-month job, and it ended up being a year and a half on it. And I felt sorry for him. I kept putting it on the back burner because we'd hit a roadblock and have to find this. Or, hey, like, I still have to run a shop. I still have to make money.
Yeah.
So it would be put to the side. I'd do a couple cars. I'd pay rent, do what I had to do because I was starting out. I didn't have a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, when can we get back on it? I'm like, hey, like, I got to push it back this week. I can't do it right now. And it just turned into a real nasty to the point where he came in the parking lot and was like yelling at me.
Yeah.
Just give me my car or give me my money back or something. And it was a real nasty situation. And just to relive that is really awful.
That sounds a lot like the story I was going to tell you. On the way up here, actually, on the highway, there was this black Mercedes. What are those things called? CLB maybe, or what is it?
Like
GLB. GLB. It looks like a square, like a box. Hideous. Well, they are. He's going down the highway, and then there's this Hyundai Tucson just going normal. And you know how like sometimes like a car like slows down in front of you, and you just like want to skirt around, hit the gas, and go.
Yeah.
He didn't see. No blinker. Tapped the girl in the Hyundai.
Oh.
She flipped 4 times right in front of me. Saw the whole thing.
Jesus, this is on the way here today, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
goodness.
and
Wow.
then
That's extreme.
That is extreme. Yeah.
I saw the whole thing, so I pull over and then I get out of the truck to make sure she's okay. This thin girl, white girl from DC, kicks the door. The door falls off the hinge
From the
She
inside.
flipped 4 times.
Oh God.
It's like airbags deployed, everything. I see a burrito hit the ground, and she goes and she just starts flipping them off. She said, "This is your fault. You're gonna pay for this," and just like starts going off on them. Like I'm just like worried about if she's okay. She
Yeah.
just literally flipped the car 4 times.
The adrenaline's just taking
It
over.
was
Yeah.
literally insane.
Hulkmania.
So I stopped. I'm trying to stop traffic so I can get her purse. That's like on the other side of this like street
God,
because
yeah.
she flipped and everything in her car just like went
Flying.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And just in case like the cops needed ID, and she was just like shaking and she was upset, and then she was like, I don't know, she was calling her mom and like trying to tell her mom that it wasn't her fault, it was their fault, this, that, and the other. And then there was other people there trying to help, and she was like, "Hey, I need somebody to hide the weed that's in my car."
Of course.
And I was like, okay, at this point,
course.
all
I
right,
can't help
I'm
it.
out.
Yeah.
And then the other person that was at fault, they had their whole family in the car. I don't know if they were coming back from church or what. They even had a kid in the back seat.
But they pitted them basically on the
So
highway.
yeah, they hit her. She did this and then flipped and then landed like facing this way. This person swerved. And you know those metal medians?
They clipped it.
She just like hit it straight forward.
Jeez.
Yeah, and her car sounded like it was about to blow up. Like the accelerator was on, but it
Yeah,
wasn't going
it's, like,
anywhere.
stuck,
and he
yeah.
just kept going, doof, 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 and it just kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder.
Knocking.
Yeah, and all she's worried about is where her boyfriend is, where her keys are, and where the cops at, so she can tell them that it was their fault, and not wanting any of us to leave because we were like
Witnesses.
Yeah. And I was like, geez.
Yeah, it's intense,
relax.
bro.
And the other guy was like, he understood. As soon as he made sure his family was good, I watched him get out. He beat me to her before she started like yelling at him to check and see if she was okay.
That is pretty crazy, bro, for a Sunday afternoon.
Chilling, just cruising along. And I was like, I saw it happen in almost like slow motion. It was like something out of an action movie.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, for good stories like that, I know, George, you probably got a couple loaded. Any that you can tell us that, deserve the attention of the internet?
Just a story about anything?
Yeah, good, bad, or ugly, or, one of your most wild experiences.
I have a pretty incredible story. I hosted one of the largest day street racing events in history.
So tell us about it. What went down?
Had you ever hosted an event before?
Oh yeah.
Not as big
Not
as
to
this,
that
though.
scale.
Yeah.
We had YouTube channels like 1320 involved. I had some large shops in Atlanta that came out, and it was hosted at my shop. And
Is this like a weekday or like weekend?
it was a Saturday night, and we had, I want to say, probably 12 to 13 cars, maybe 15 cars, some of the fastest cars in the country, and the average horsepower was about 1,600.
Gosh.
We had cars all the way up to 2,600 horsepower there. And the whole premise behind it was the event was called Meet in the Middle, and they didn't have anywhere to host the first event. So we collaborated together, and I reached out and we talked. Said, hey, I got a great venue, I got a good parking lot. Let's host the race at my shop.
Yeah.
And 1320 came in town. The whole film, like full film crew.
Yeah.
We had trucks and trailers. We were charging entry for it. Like, it was televised as like a car show, car meet.
Yeah.
But they didn't realize that behind the scenes that we were matching people up and running cars during the car show.
Yeah.
And we wanted to keep it very low key, just to have the content from it to build off of it and whatnot. And what's interesting about it is we had close to 7,000 people there.
At the shop?
Yeah.
Like on feet.
It was absolutely insane. And what's crazy about it is still to this day, I felt like just an absolute boss.
Oh, for sure.
Because
It's your shop.
I had these guys who I've idolized that build these 2,000 plus horsepower cars from shops all around the country. And they're here at my shop. And
Your event.
They're utilizing me. And mainly because I've been street racing in Atlanta for such a long time, I said, hey, this is how we do our procedure. This is what you do. This is how many cars go out. This is what you're going to do when you go out. And then it's just, to have their attention is just so awesome.
Yeah.
And it got to the point of where it didn't become fun anymore. It had to be serious because they were following us. They were trying to figure out where we were located at.
Yeah.
State Patrol, man, they are sneaky.
Oh, I bet their radios were going off to each other.
They were going
Yeah.
off like crazy. So we would alternate north and alternate south because my shop's right there by an exit.
Did y'all have like a CV radio going or like a
No,
police scanner?
We use an app. I think it's called Zelle, Zelle. It's a walkie-talkie app you can get, and we would just communicate. We had watch guys, we had blockers, we had film guys on the. I mean, it was just.
It was like Fast and
It
Furious.
was almost
Yeah.
a whole production, and what's interesting about it is I got really serious about it and started hosting more events after that. And we started doing smaller stuff, but that event right there was
The Mecca.
It was the pinnacle of anything that I could have ever produced physically in person for the automotive industry, and it's incredible,
Yeah.
mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And it was just the caliber of cars, man. It was just man, you got a car that makes 2,600 horsepower that wants to go race another car that makes 2,000 horsepower. You know what that feels like? It's just, it's so
It's unreal, yeah.
it's so unreal. You can't fathom what it even feels like until you feel it. Like, people are like, oh, I have an idea what it feels like. And they've been fast for no.
Launching a
When
2,000
you have
horsepower
a car that'll do 60 to 130 in 2.5 seconds,
Snap your neck.
you hit the G-force on your body. It's just so immense.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you almost pass out, but you get a little lightheaded.
Yeah.
But then the rush comes in, and you're just like, wow.
What's the fastest you've ever been?
Top speed wise, 226.
Jesus. What car?
It's a Corvette Z06 twin turbo.
What year?
Um,
C7, C8, C6?
It was a C6.
Nice.
I don't remember the exact year of it.
But C6,
black.
Z06,
Yeah,
twin
we're out
turbo.
in Texas. We're on the Texas Mile. And
Out in Mexico
Were
somewhere.
you driving?
yeah, I drove the car. We were doing some testing on it. I did some suspension setup for the guy. And I was doing some calibration on the coilovers, changing spring rates, doing some preload stuff.
What type of
Change.
calibration is required at 226 miles an hour?
Super stiff.
The biggest thing is to have
Is
as
it the
much
mental
traction as
calibration?
possible. No, it's mainly just squat control, understanding on a manual car how to really slow down the rebound. Your traction comes in from the squat,
Yeah.
and in between gear shifts on a
It
manual.
lets up, yeah.
So really fine tuning the spring rate, the high speed, squat. You want high speed. You want it to be fast. You want it to stay down there. And in between shifts, you want to really slow down your rebound because that's where your traction really. That's where cars are upset when your suspension rebounds and comes up. It really upsets the car. That's
Yeah.
why you see a lot of guys have manual cars that wreck them are banging gears. They'll go from first to second, and all of a sudden it comes up and then it squats again, and the car does this and they hit a tree or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
the
so
whole
smart.
That's the whole Mustang. And
No, that's
Cowpens.
exactly right,
That's
yeah.
what it's from. It disrupts the suspension because they have a lot of squat. And the biggest thing about it is just really fine tuning that and getting to the point of where the car can make maximum traction from point A to point B, and just making sure that it's fine tuned to the point of where there's no traction issues. Because I mean, if you're making 2,000 plus horsepower with a car that's rear wheel drive,
That's kind of wild, yeah.
you don't really want to have a car that's going to spin the tires at 160 miles an hour when you go from third to fourth really quick.
Yeah, you don't want to die.
And aero plays a huge role in that. Suspension compression.
Had a big wing on it, probably.
It was more of a long. I guess you
Duckbill.
call it I guess you could call it dovetail.
Yeah.
It's long, like the drag style wings.
Yeah.
You know? It just kind of really. There's a lot of turbulence in the back of those cars because of how they're designed for road racing. For top speed stuff, you really got to smooth the air off the tail because if it causes too much turbulence, it can do all kinds of weird stuff in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And that's why you see the drag racing
Where
wings
it's like
are
the
really
long,
smooth wing,
Yeah.
because you want the exit of the air off the back of the car to be a very smooth transition so that it doesn't cause any drag or any negative airflow
Yeah.
issues with the car because we're going for top speed run. You want to go as fast as you can. I think he ended up doing like 240 or 250. It was something stupid.
How happy was the customer?
Hold on.
It was-
Pause for a second. Let me hit the camera.
Speaking of learning from our mistakes, we've actually filmed the whole pod, not realizing that the camera would stop recording.
He told me about the recording.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
to set the timer for it.
Our
Yeah.
first camera, we don't realize it was a camera for photography.
And
That's just how oblivious we were. And it recorded 11 minutes of like what we thought was it
was like the
best
intro,
hour of
yeah.
our lives.
Yeah.
And then we had nothing, bro. We were
Yeah.
so pissed because
So all the natural charisma of the whole thing was just gone.
Yeah.
A
Right?
race. And then we wanted to redo it, and then we just couldn't.
the energy was totally killed. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But the
It has to be raw. Like raw energy is real, and I like that. I don't like anything staged.
yeah, that's exactly right. Because we tried doing videos like where we had like video reviews and we tried to make it funny and stuff like that, but it wasn't as natural. Like it didn't feel right. So
Yeah.
the podcast's been the best for us when we chop it up into clips, and those are typically what work. But yeah, there's some great stories you got there, bro. For one thing for you, since you are around all the exotics on the performance side, what do you think about like these EVs and where that's going, versus traditional?
I'll tell you, I've played around with a few cars that have been electric. I'm honestly, which is kind of crazy. There's a company called Unplugged Performance that
Yeah.
makes really high end stuff for Teslas.
Yeah, you can like
And I'm
jailbreak
I'm
them.
their Atlanta dealer.
Oh,
And
dope.
I'm
Okay.
their Atlanta dealer and installer at my shop. and they send me a lot. I've been working on Teslas quite a while.
So tell us.
Just dropping and wide body in the Teslas.
No, mainly just suspension, brake upgrade, wraps.
And the computer system, right?
Yeah. I mean, we do a few things electronically, but I try not to really mess with that too much.
Seems very complex.
It is. And the car itself, suspension-wise, is very simple, which is nice. They have their issues. They tear up the inside of the tires with camber and whatnot. So there's been lots of fixes for that. But mainly it's just people want to customize it. I want a carbon lip. I want to wrap it. I want to do these wheels. I want to lower it, blah, blah, blah. And I had a, I think it was a 2018 or 2019 P100D Model S that I had done a lot to, and it was fast.
Yeah, those are
It was
sick, bro.
really fast. That's the last model before the Plaid, and I wanted to get a Plaid, but they were so high at the time. But as far as the exotics and EV and the hybrid scenario,
Yeah, because you got the.
I have a lot of friends who have Revueltos.
Well, and you got our buddy Mo with the SF90.
Yeah.
You know, that thing, it's sick, but it's like it's a spaceship with all the technology.
Yeah, it's almost like these exotic companies are going away from their their, how do you say it? Their normal template. Like Lamborghini has a template for their car, and when the Revuelto was talked about, it just seems like they don't have the technology to really do that. I feel like they brought somebody else in.
Well, yeah, it's all backed by VW, right? So
And the calibration mesh of Lamborghini engineering on the backside and then the hybrid, it didn't mesh well. The car has lots of issues.
well, and what do you think too? Like, all the, how do you say, like the purists of the brand that follow it, since the guys that had the posters when they were kids,
Yeah.
and now they're like, well, screw all this, and the prices on the EV or the hybrid supercars, hypercars now are like dropping like crazy.
Yeah, I think that it wasn't the best move for the exotic companies. I know that it allows them to attain more power and make it faster.
Yeah.
And slowly dip their toe in the EV world a little bit. But I think that they're going away from their true roots of what they offer as a brand. And I think that they're slowly starting to get bad press and negative repercussions to their brand.
Yeah.
Because of this new age style of car they're building. And the SF90, same thing. There's certain years you don't buy. Same thing with the Revuelto. Like, they're all having issues. I don't care if it's brand new, first gen, it doesn't matter. They're all having a lot of issues. And I understand that's because this is the first step in the direction of this type of car.
Yeah.
And I understand, same thing. When the first iPhone came out, I'm sure it had a lot of issues.
That's fair too.
It wasn't great, but people are judging this brand that makes these cars that are so pinnacle and so high-end, high-scale, that I think that a lot of the purists don't like it because it's too technologically advanced for them. Because I feel like even the Aventador, like the newest Aventador, it's still a very basic car when you break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very basic car. When you work on Lamborghinis, they're like, oh, well, aren't you nervous to work on this car? I'm like, no, because when you really get under the skin, it's a very basic car.
Yeah, it's all
the
mechanical,
engineering is incredible, but the layout of the car is very simple.
Ferrari, on the other hand.
Yeah. Don't get me started on working on Ferraris, man. Those things.
But what now? Then it applies to hybrids. Like, how do you feel about the 918 Spider then?
That
one's been around
That's a unique one. Yeah.
I think the 918, since it's been around for so long,
people are used to it. I feel like.
I feel like that being one of the first pioneers of really that style of car.
It's got the hype.
I think that Porsche had had ridiculous amounts of data before they released that car.
Yeah.
And I think that they released them in such a small count as it is.
Well,
I tell everybody all the time, I think Porsche is way ahead of its time. Even though it's such a timeless car, and I think they're intentionally
I agree.
taking their time.
I think that they're probably run by aliens and they have some extra
bro, that's awesome. Oh my god.
But when you look at the engineering for, let's just say, for example, the most impressive car I've ever driven that Porsche ever put out
What, GT3
was a
RS?
992 GT3 RS.
This man over here, that's his. That's like.
That is it's not the fastest car that they've built.
But it's
800-pound beat of torque on the wing.
It's the most
Or
impressive
downforce.
out of the box stock, nothing done to it. It's also the heftiest price tag.
Yeah, of course, like 400
Yeah.
something.
I
Yeah.
mean, not including the Carrera GT. I've driven a Carrera GT once.
That's just raw power, though.
But yeah, so tell us about the experience.
It's not fast, but yeah, the GT3 RS 992 is one of the best out of the box manufactured, design, engineered cars I've ever driven in my entire life.
So that's a clip right there, because all the guys that are watching that are car guys, it's always a big thing that comes up is like, is the GT3 RS 2 overhyped, this, that, the other? But it really is like one of the best, like you said, out of the box.
I
just
think it's
right to
slightly overhyped because for a power punch you get for the price tag,
Yeah, there's some
it's
other
not
things.
worth it.
You
In
could
my
get,
opinion, if I'm going to spend 400 grand on a fully loaded Wysock, like just out of the box, just fully loaded, every spec carbon option I can get on that car, I'm not buying that car.
what would you buy?
765.
Yeah,
That is-
yes,
my,
sir. Yeah,
That is my number 2 most impressive cars I've ever driven on track.
you gotten to drive
And
one?
it's just absolutely, it's,
Now, in
yeah,
terms- in
it's,
terms of
it's a
reliability-
nasty animal.
Yeah,
In terms of reliability on the track, like in terms of like you just pushing it as hard as you can.
bulletproofness.
Which one do you think is
Probably the
more-
Porsche.
more durable?
McLaren, they have their issues. They have their.
It's like a common thing with like the turbo inlets and things like that on those too.
Yeah,
right?
but the 765 doesn't, because the 720 was around for so much longer.
But the 720 has more issues from what I hear than
It,
the
it does
765.
because that was an earlier model of
Yeah.
that design. The long tail cars are incredible cars that McLaren has designed and produced, and I honestly think the 765 is the elite ultimate version of what the 720 wanted to be.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the technology and the data. So the 720 does have issues because that was the pioneer car into the pinnacle long tail McLaren.
What
The 765 is the rendition of yes. That's it.
It's the ultimate top tier McLaren. That's
That's
like
why
a
Top
driver's
G has 4 of them.
the
4 of them.
yeah, driver's car. But so like say for example, regardless of price, if you had both parked in front of you and you were gonna take one for a weekend, you could do whatever, go to the mountains, track, whatever you want to do. Which one would you take?
So probably 765. That's what he likes.
GT3,
Really?
Yeah, see that's interesting.
but not an RS.
Not an RS, just a
Yeah.
GT3.
992, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I think I'd probably go 765 LT with the Spider, because we have one for sale at Atlanta Autos, but it's like 550K. Not many people can afford that shit. So it's
I gotta stop for a minute.
yeah, no worries. If you need a moment,
Yeah, dude.
You good?
Yeah.
Too hot?
Yeah, I had COVID like 6 weeks ago, and I can't get rid of this cough.
Uh,
And when it's really warm, it irritates my throat when I talk.
you want
After
to go
a
inside
while.
for a bit?
Crazy.
all right, we're live. So I
So
guess
back to what we were talking about.
yeah, it was the
GT3 RS.
You asked me, did you say track or mountain?
Both.
Okay.
No, wait, no, we said mountain.
so
Okay.
well so. What is it? If you had to pick for the weekend, 765 LT or GT3 RS, you said you'd pick a GT3
For the mountains.
for the mountains.
For the track 765.
765. If you had unlimited money, what would you buy? Just like any dream car that it might be
I'll
like
tell you, if I had unlimited money and I wanted to buy something, I would probably buy the Zonda R.
that's an interesting pick, bro. You don't hear that car come up
It's
too
an
many
incredible
times.
car.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen in life. It was in California for some show. It
What,
was
Pebble Beach probably, or
Yeah, it was. I was young and I saw it for the first time. Dry carbon body, just absolutely just looks like a spaceship. Like
Yeah.
it's such an incredible car.
and those are from the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still today just a
Timeless.
nasty monster on the track.
Yeah. And
Nobody tracks them anymore because they're worth so much money.
yeah, you just park them and
Well, the
look
first
at
time I
'em.
saw dry carbon, I was like, what is that? It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, did you like sand it or something? No, that's how it comes.
Yeah.
It's structural carbon, not pretty carbon.
Yeah,
I
it's
understand.
interesting.
That.
Nah,
Yeah, that would be it. It would be a Zonda R.
that's dope. Nah, I know Phil should. I think even if you had unlimited money, you'd still buy a GT3 RS.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Right. Well, he's got in his car a black on black GT3 RS, like Hot Wheels or whatever.
Have
And
you
that-
driven one?
No.
Now the closest thing.
You might change your mind. I'm telling you, it's a fantastic car, but I think you might change your mind. It's the first time
I've driven a Carrera S.
Yeah, that blue one that we had.
the first time I ever drove a brand new GT3 RS 992. It was a 24, I think. It was January of this year. It was a 24 or 25, I think. It had like 8,000 miles on it, and I drove it, and I was actually very disappointed the first time I drove it.
Really.
It's an incredible car handling.
What let you down about it?
Power.
Yeah.
It needs more power. It needs more straight line acceleration. Not a lot. 50, 80, 100 would be nice. But then you drive the GT2, and that thing just absolutely just annihilates a GT3 on a straight line.
What do you think about these guys that take
Like
like
ribs.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
What do you think about the guys that take like a junkyard LS motor, throw a big ass turbo on it, and just send it to the moon? Like they'll take, like
I mean, I'm all for it because I'm building one right now too.
Yeah.
It just depends on the chassis that it goes in. That's what matters.
If it's what,
like the guys back in the day that were just doing LS swaps, like, oh, I LS swapped my Miata. I'm like,
yeah, and then you're ripping apart your whole
Why?
chassis. Yeah.
why? That
they're
makes
like, why
way
not?
too much power. The concept is cool. It's going to be fast. It weighs nothing, but you're going to destroy the car.
Yeah. And
yourself.
Either that, yeah, or you'll just wreck it. You'll put it in a ditch before you know it because that's entirely way too much power for that car.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm building a really, really, really cool car. I hate talking about my car collection, but I have a pretty unique car collection. I'm building a 350Z right now with an LS3 base platform.
Wow.
So it's a 6.2 motor.
It's gonna be a drift car.
Yes. Twin Garrett G25. I think they're G25 550 Garretts, the new ones. Should make right about 900 wheel,
Some big
about 1,000 torque.
big spoolie boys on there.
Yep, sequential 6-speed trans,
Oh, God.
carbon roof.
Full race car. Is it gonna be like an F1 drift car, or what do you call it? F1D? Or FD?
No, Formula D?
Yeah, Formula D.
No, I competed a long time ago, and I was in Pro-Am trying to compete to be in Formula Drift.
You just miss having fun.
Yeah, I just want to go out there and just go
Rip.
Because they
bang doors with my friends.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than going out there and just
sliding. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why everybody wraps their cars, because we bang into each other.
That's hilarious,
That's a
yeah.
really cool project I'm excited to do. I just got the mounts,
And
so I
your
can finally put the motor in.
your wife does wraps. Are you gonna have her wrap the car and everything, or?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap that car, just because with drifting, you can hit one little thing and screw it up, and I'm like, I'm not painting that car.
No, yeah, it's
because
not worth it.
I'll buy like 2 or 3 rolls of wrap and just use one roll to wrap the car, and then you have 1 or 2 to really follow up the damages as you go down the road. I'm really excited to get that done because it's been a dream of mine for probably 10 years. I've been wanting to put this together in this car. I
dope.
love the look of a 350Z if it's done right. And what's interesting, I'm going to do kind of like a GT LM style body kit. So it's going to look like a road race car that might run Le Mans, but it's going to be a drift car. It's going to be arrowed out. It's going to look sick.
That'll be dope, bro.
I'm super excited to do it.
When do you think the car will be ready?
Oh, it's going to be years.
Yeah, just the
Because
excitement's
it
there,
takes
though.
me
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
The build quality that I'm going to put into this car, it's going to be years.
You're like an old Japanese guy.
Yeah,
Just-
This is how deep we're going. I'm stripping the car down to the metal frame,
Damn.
and it's getting acid dipped.
Oh wow, so you're going through everything, yeah.
It's going to be built from scratch. It's going to go on a rotisserie. The entire chassis is going to get powder coated. Whatever's left after that, the body, it's obviously going to be the roof, quarter panels. Whatever's left in the metal body will be powder coated a beautiful violet purple color. It's a candy color with some metallic flake in it, and everything else is going to be kind of a little bit of a teal blue and some silver involved
That's
in
dope.
there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really, really nice build. But that takes a long time. So,
What's the most expensive car you turned a wrench on?
Carrera GT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to do an oil change on one for a buddy of mine that had one, and
Do you still have it?
No, he sold it. He sold the car. This is a long time ago. This was probably in 2015, 2016. And it was the second or third year I was open, and I was just like, man, this car is just, when you look at that car in person, it's almost like it's not even made by Porsche. It's almost like it was made by some other company, and Porsche put their badges on it.
Yeah.
The build quality of the car is just so far superior to everything that was produced by Porsche at the time.
Yeah.
It was almost, might as well have been a concept car.
Yeah,
'Cause
like,
you look at these concept
no-
cars, like, wait, they did that?
Nothing left
There's
behind.
no way
yeah.
they did that, But when you compare it at the same time when the Carrera GT came out to the 911 at the time, they are not the same thing. The build quality is far superior on a GT car like that. But I got a lot of really cool stuff I got planned. I mean, I got picking up the R8.
Yeah, you got the
recently.
R8. Yeah, bro.
Super excited about that. We got the Maserati from you. Been doing a lot of R&D on that car, and
Sorry, the timer went off. I canceled it. Go ahead.
so the R8, I got big plans for the R8. I already got coilovers for it. I already got a front lip on it. Got wheels on it. Measurement starts tomorrow. This week is first prep of manufacturing twin turbo kits for the first gen V8 R8s. There's a million turbo kits for V10s, but there's nothing for a V8.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so you're adding a V8 R10
Well-
R8 to the collection?
So
Yeah,
he's got the car.
I already have it.
Yeah, he got it. Got a good deal out of one of your friends in Florida, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then and now he's got it halfway taken apart, going through it
It's
now.
pretty much
Yeah.
blown apart right now. The whole back of the car is off. I start off by doing just a transmission mount and an oil change.
Let me start here, and then let me
Yeah,
do
and
while I'm
then-
in there. Let me
and
do
then
this. Yeah.
I'm sitting on there. I'm trying to find a transmission mount. I go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, oh, coilovers. Okay, let's go and get those. I'm already in there. Might as well go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then, spark plugs are on sale with NGK. Let's go ahead and do the spark plugs too while we're in there. And then I pulled the bumper off, pulled the trans mount out, started looking at it. Oh, the exhaust has got a crack in it. It's got to come off the car now. So here we are. I'm like, well, I'm already there. Might as well go and build the turbo kit while we're at it, right? So that's kind of my thought process.
That's exactly how it works.
She doesn't
too.
understand that.
Yeah, but like
Tiffany does not understand my thought process when it comes to that.
and your customer's probably the same way. It's like, okay, well, I guess while he's in there, he may well go ahead and do this. Yeah.
And that's how I sell the jobs. I'm like, hey, we're in here doing this oil change. Yeah, it's going to be an extra $1,000 going to knock out the spark plugs, but you're at that mileage, and it's here. And they're like, you know what? That's right. Because the biggest thing with these cars is you don't want it to have downtime.
Yeah.
You don't want downtime. When you're paying $250,000 for a car, you do not want it to have a lot of downtime.
No, that's
so
true.
guess what? If you're in here for an oil change, give me an extra day and a half and knock out the plugs. That's how my thought process works. So I'm like doing the same thing with my car. I'm like, you know what? I've enjoyed it for 2 months. I've had it for 2 months now. And I'm to the point now where I'm going to do the trans mount. That's already a big deal. The bumper's already coming off,
Yeah.
which is a nightmare in itself.
With the
It's a huge
the-
job
taking the
just
rear
to pull the
end
exhaust off. Well, why would I put the exhaust back on to pull it back off in a couple months of the turbo kit? So guess what? I'm going to rock the Maserati for now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And I'm super excited to do that build. Love,
Have you ever had
love.
somebody that just came in for like the smallest thing, like an oil change?
Yes.
And then there was just like, you know what?
Even smaller.
I want this, and
Even
this.
smaller. It was a nail in the tire.
Oh, and while it was there, you're like, just
Nail in the tire.
throw a twin turbo on there while you're at it.
Coilovers, tune, exhaust,
Bro,
powder coat the wheels.
that's great. That's great.
Talk about the
Oh
most-
my God.
Epic upsell in
Yeah.
the history of my skill set.
What were you gonna charge just for the tire patch? Like what, 40, 50 bucks?
Nothing.
Yeah,
I
I'll
do
just
it for
yeah.
free.
Here, I'll patch it
He's
for
a good
free.
customer. I do it for free.
Yeah, and it turned into a few $1,000 job. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Crazy.
So like, one thing we ask our guys, and I even ask my customers, what for guys that want to get to a spot like where you're at now, what advice would you have for younger guys that are maybe in their early 20s that want to own their own business or something along the lines like what you're doing?
I do mentorships too with younger kids on entrepreneurship.
That's
and
awesome. Okay.
I feel like the best advice that I keep, it's like a broken record. I keep telling people, believe in yourself. Do not let failure stop you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm stubborn or hard-headed, but I will never give up.
Yeah, you got to be at least a
I
little
will
bit,
never
yeah.
give up. I don't care if I'm living in my dad's basement broke. I will never give up starting businesses because that's what you do. I mean, and I look at customers of mine, and honestly, I tell you, I have a little bit more access because I have customers who are millionaires and successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have access to somebody say, hey, like, I did this wrong. Like, well, keep trying. What are you crying about? Keep trying. Do not give up. Do not stop. That's the biggest thing is the best advice I can give to somebody who's young is believe in yourself. No idea is bad. Run with it and never give up.
Yeah, that's
the
dope.
biggest thing. Like,
That's great advice, man.
it's the simplest truth that you can give to somebody is believing in yourself. I don't think that everybody should just go out and quit their job tomorrow and start a business. No, absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. But definitely keep in the back of your mind to work towards the progression in your life of having that entrepreneur mindset, looking at the freedom that you get. And I'll tell you, the number one thing that I tell young people is I don't care how much money you have in the entire world. The number one thing a rich person can't buy is time.
Yeah.
You cannot buy time. It's not possible to buy time. What you do is become so financially successful that you can create the time.
Yeah, you can buy back your
Can't-
time. Yeah.
Exactly. So, for example, that's what I'm doing. I'm to the point now where I make so much money that I can not work for 2 weeks and be fine,
Yeah.
but I'm not like that. I'm not programmed like that. So, yeah, believe in yourself.
Yeah, and just go after
Send it
Yeah.
and forget it. Well, cool. George, it's been an absolute pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me
I
on.
can't can't thank you enough for coming on the show and sharing some of your experiences and stories, and the little tidbit of advice that you gave us towards the end, will help us progress more along. And of course, the viewers watching, I know I got a ton of value from you being on the show. I'm sure Jackson has, and we'd love to have you on again sometime, man.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Guys, give me a call whenever.
Yeah, appreciate you being a good friend, and thanks for joining us, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Till next time, you Karma the Lovers. Peace.
Peace.